We have some wedding drama that would have me cancel the entire thing. First story, videographer steals $30K from 14 couples and runs away to become a rapper. This would be a great documentary. So my husband and I are one of, so far, 14 different couples that have been scammed by an Arizona videographer over the last 2 years. Our local ABC station did a story about our group of couples who have been waiting for months for their wedding videos, and I wanted to share just the tip of the iceberg of the messy, infuriating backstory that they didn't include. I am so invested already. The happiest day of our lives has turned into an absolute nightmare filled with frustration, tears, and anger. Collectively, he has taken around $30,000 and counting from everyone who trusted him. Buckle up. The playbook was essentially the same for all of us. We saw great reviews and a solid portfolio online, signed contracts, and then paid deposits. He seemed incredibly attentive, friendly, and professional right up until the day after the wedding. That is when everything fell apart. First came the silence. Weeks turned into months. When he did pop back up, it was always some wild sob story that entirely contradicted the one that he told us prior. Suddenly, he's so broke, he only has $1 to his name and needs to file bankruptcy. He's homeless, he's sick, starving, recovering from a breakup, dealing with a parental divorce. His car got totaled, he didn't have access to his phone number, you name it. See, I'm already losing patience, and I have nothing to do with it. If we all got paid $5 every time he's given us one of these insane sob stories, we would probably have enough to recoup the money that he stole from us. And of course, we all felt bad, at least for a little while, because who doesn't have a heart? Him. He doesn't have a heart. But then we'd seen him on social media, literally living a different life, showing off in fancy music studios, posing with luxury cars, flexing with friends, searching for new clients, and even uploading a video where he and his buddies were jumping someone in front of their studio. Meanwhile, he blocked most of us on Instagram so we couldn't see the I'm him egotistical social media posts, while he still messaged us about how hard things have been for him lately. Ugh, I'm already so angry for you. Some of us have still never received a single frame of footage. Others eventually received incomplete raw footage 6 months to a year after their weddings, but the quality is subpar to say the least. The lion's share of footage is a lot of 1 to 3 second unusable clips. The footage is shaky, some clips are missing audio entirely, he's recording his feet while parent dances are happening, and then there are actual moments where you can hear him taking over key moments by promoting his own social media to guests. I genuinely wish I was kidding. It has now been almost 2 years for some of us. Anniversaries have come and gone, and none of us have our finished videos. None. For the record, the final edited film was the main point of most of us hiring him. As a group, we have tried literally everything to either get our footage or get our money back. Following the ADR process in our contracts, which he made himself unreachable, sending demand letters through lawyers, which were ignored, surprise, surprise, contacting the state attorney general's office, every case was closed because he wouldn't respond, and then hiring multiple skip tracers to have him served, they couldn't find him. This definitely needs to be a documentary. What's he been up to recently? Instead of providing priceless wedding footage to the countless clients he has unfulfilled contracts with, nothing much, just trying to run away from everything he's done and rebrand by starting a new studio venture under a different name. Also, he's trying to start a new music career as a rapper. He even told one of the women that she wouldn't see an edited film until he made his big break in music, so he had enough money to pay an editor to do it for him. Here is the ABC 15 stories that feature 4 of the 14 women. And we're gonna attach the screenshots for you guys. What a freaking wiener. That's not in the story, that's my commentary. What a friggin' wiener. Since the stories were released, despite his "I'm a good guy and I want to handle this with dignity, this weighs so heavy on my heart" act that he did for the reporter, it's been close to radio silence from him for all of us still. He has spent more time doing damage control for his reputation and blocking people for calling him what he is instead of working on getting us all our footage and films. In the last week or two, we've also found out that he's deactivated all of his social media pages and made himself even more unreachable than he already was. I never in a million years thought I would be posting something related to my own wedding in here, let alone to be one of these people telling a horror story about a scamming wedding vendor. It's both heartbreaking and ridiculous that such sensitive memories are being held hostage by some wannabe SoundCloud rapper who would rather chase clout than do his job. We are also trying to get our footage and films, so it's an ongoing situation. I will come back and update if and when more happens, but I am not holding my breath, unfortunately, especially since his very recent actions. I have so many questions. I'm just wondering, did anyone ever have a success story with this guy? You know, for him to have good reviews and a portfolio? Like, did he once take this seriously and then was just like, yeah, I think I'm gonna start scamming people instead and become a rapper? That must be infuriating because videographers for weddings are not cheap, all right? They are not cheap. Even if it was cheap, it's still wrong. Next story. Family member is furious that we stole her wedding month. Oh, it's brewing. My annoyance. It's always there, you know, but it's starting to bubble. I'm at a loss and I just want to check if I missed something. If I missed some major wedding planning etiquette, I'll own up to it, but I really don't think I did. My cousin got engaged September 2024. We got engaged May 2025. We had a conversation with her about wedding stuff shortly after we got engaged, and she mentioned wanting to get married around March or April of 2026 with no confirmed plan or specific date. Soon after, my fiance and I determined we wanted to get married around the same time frame for the nicer weather and to avoid price increases. Also, I personally didn't want to be engaged longer than a year. Where we live is extremely hot in the summer, so spring and fall are definitely the wedding seasons. We let them know this and asked if they had chosen a specific date. They still hadn't, and they didn't say anything about us planning for that time of year. I didn't see any issue getting married around the same months as long as it wasn't the exact same weekend. I thought this was normal. I really thought it would be nice to celebrate around the same time and go through this milestone together. Silly me. Oh, yeah, I'm already annoyed. Last year, in my core group of friends, I had back-to-back weddings on some weekends. Like, I had one of my best friends' wedding this weekend, and the following weekend, we all went to one of our other close friends' wedding. And then 2 weeks later, it was another wedding. I don't understand how people get offended or upset by that. What? Why? They mentioned touring a couple venues, but they didn't love them and hadn't booked anything. We mentioned our potential dates to them before booking. We shared with them when we visited venues. They didn't raise any issues. In October, we booked a venue for late April 2026, and I told them. Since then, we've hung out many times, and she seemed completely normal, and we got along. Recently, we were asking our family for addresses for save the dates, and she became radio silent and wouldn't fill out the form. She would text us about other stuff like nothing was wrong, which was odd. We sent her and her fiance several reminders about the address form and still nothing. After a few weeks of this, we told her it's rude and confusing to be completely unresponsive about the address request. She then blew up at us and told us it's bizarre and completely rude to have booked their wedding month and that we basically ruined all of their wedding plans. To be clear, this is 2.5 months after we booked our date and told her. To my knowledge, they still haven't booked anything or even confirmed a specific date they want. She said there is no way our family from across the state could make it to both ours and hers, and we knew that and we did it on purpose, and that we were stealing their anniversary. She said it's common sense and everybody knows to not book the same month as someone else planning in the same family, and she can't believe she even had to say anything. Well, isn't that why we were trying to communicate from the start? to be considerate of your wedding plans and to work this out together, maybe, and that's going above and beyond, really. I truly have never heard that in my life. I've been a bridesmaid 4 times. I've attended weddings that were close to each other, and I never thought anything of it. It's not a destination wedding. Some family members will have to drive like 7 hours if they want to come. Many are local. I feel completely blindsided. I even checked past text messages to see what her response was when we were first ever told the date. She just said, cool, and said that she was thinking of a courthouse wedding weeks before that. I told her she could have expressed this sooner, and I don't understand why she expected us to know how she felt when she never said anything. If she had mentioned something sooner, we could have considered a different date, but now we have paid all the deposits and stuff. She proceeded to call us a-holes, insists that it was obvious and common sense, and says that we know what we did, implying that we screwed her over intentionally and that we're choosing the date and it wasn't about the weather. I told her it really had nothing to do with her and it's weird to make our wedding about her, but she is not having it. Sounds to me like her wedding planning just didn't go to plan, and for some reason, that's a big issue for her. I don't get it. Like, girl, you got engaged like 6 months before me at least. You've had more time to figure your stuff out. I pointed out that when we booked our date, they had already been engaged for a year. Okay, that's what I'm saying. And if she felt that strongly about the date, which is already quite soon, then she should have booked something or told us one specific date to avoid. I don't understand feeding such strong ownership over an entire month when nothing was booked, and it's common for a lot of people to get married in spring. I think our relationship with her is suddenly over. Am I crazy? No, she is that how we're feeling? Are we all feeling that this girl is just like a little cuckoo bonkers and unorganized and is taking it out on you? Maybe there's some jealousy there. We have an update though. We had some back and forth over text. I reminded her that she never actually had any date reserved and she should have said something early on if it bothered her. She told us to stop harassing her and that she already explained the common sense thing and that I'm still being an a-hole, and to just leave her alone. I sent her the screenshot of when we texted her the date, and all she said was, cool, I might do something on this other date. So there's no way for us to have known that she was secretly upset. She made it clear that she doesn't want to come to our wedding. I removed her from the guest list and then I blocked her. I'm pretty sure she blocked me too. I'm frustrated and a little sad, but I do not need someone causing drama and telling lies about me in my life. Amen to that. I have a feeling if you did keep her a part of the whole wedding planning and the wedding day, more drama would have just come from it. She would have been bitter. She's bitter. I don't understand this at all. I really don't. And you gave so much communication to her along the way. Next story. I guess enough time has passed to let my story loose. Oh, you let it loose. We are here for it. I have a feeling this one's gonna be juicy. I might be getting ahead of myself. I'm far enough removed now that I can share what a mess my wedding was. I've told that it would be a right fit here. Let's start with the planning. I was told that regardless of how many guests we invite, I need to be significantly less than half of the total because, quote, I don't have as many important people in my life, that we couldn't incorporate my favorite artist's music in any of the big moments, quote, but she's so boring. And overall, that I should just be one of those grooms that doesn't care about the wedding. Who told you this? Who said this? One of my guests skipped the ceremony despite living 15 minutes away and later had to be chastised by one of my friends for overrunning the entire conversation at his table with complaints about his pickup soccer league. But that is nothing compared to her guests. Cocktail attire was specifically requested and explained in the invite. We had guys show up in linen sets like one that you would wear to the beach, in fitted hats with Jordan on. Oh my, that's a choice. And some not taking their sunglasses off during the indoor ceremony. We had a close family member on the bride's side make a big deal about receiving a second plus one, but decided to leave with both of them immediately after the ceremony, not even staying for our entrance, let alone dinner, because she thought one of her estranged sons would be there and he wasn't. Her dad's family took up an entire table and let alone any semblance of a wedding gift, didn't even bring bring a card with something nice written in it. The next time I was at his house, there were 2 massive portraits of wedding photos hung up. I was in neither of them. Then there was the bridesmaid. One of the bridesmaids started things off by showing up half an hour late to the rehearsal in a white dress. I think we need to reevaluate the people in our life, but we'll talk about that after. At the wedding, between the ceremony and reception, asked the best man to carry her around so she didn't have to walk in heels, and then interrupted the sunset photos to make us FaceTime her mother, and then later broke down crying on her knees on the middle of the dance floor for reasons I can only speculate at. There's just so many stories in this one. Best of all, I found out a few weeks later that she had the venue staff load up bags to take home as much of our cake and late night food that she could carry, despite also not even bringing so much as a card and well wishes. Oh, and the bride did too many tequila shots and spent the portion of the night after the ceremony throwing up in the toilet of our hotel room. And that is the most expensive shambles of my life, in case you're wondering. Not one of these folks apologized to me for any of this. Okay, we have a top comment here, and I hope it's gonna be what I'm thinking, because he said bride. Does that mean the bride is no longer your wife? The top comment: how long did your marriage last? OP said a little under 2 years. Let me tell you one thing, okay? You know how wedding culture is very expensive these days, and I talk about it quite often? Let me tell you, if I spend money on a wedding day and I'm getting divorced in less than 2 years, what a waste. A waste of time, energy, money. Oh, see, y'all, this is why your girl is taking her time over here. I am not in any freaking rush, okay? As long as I am in a happy, loving, committed, healthy relationship, that is all I care about. I could be a girlfriend for the rest of my life, all right? Anyways, interesting. If you guys have wedding stories of your own, please put them in the comments. I want to read them selfishly. We have more stories, but we're gonna hydrate first, all right? Let me know what's in your cup, but you should drink some water today. Cheers. It's hydration station.
I'm getting ready for the day right now, but I want to show you the cutesy sweater that Matt's family got me for Christmas. Oh, these are literally like 3D. I don't know if you can see it. They're like bundles of yarn, and there's a bunch of little hearts all over. It's so cute. I mean, do they know me? And then look, my little earrings are little like pearl hearts to match. I love it.
Realizing you can see the full sweater a lot better this way. So this would have been the smart way to show you, but here we are. It's never too late. Next story. I fired my maid of honor 1 month before the wedding, and I need to tell the story. Ooh, she must have done something bad. I got married in October, and I just need to let this out. My therapist thinks it'll be cathartic. Fair. Let's set the stage. The players are me, female, 30, my now husband, 29 male, my ex-best friend, 32 female, and her boyfriend, 29 male. Everything started off very normal. When I got engaged to my now husband, it was such a fun day. My best friend, at the time anyway, I will call her M, and her boyfriend of 11 years, drove me to all the spots for a scavenger hunt. After I said yes, we went to the engagement party. Awesome day, so much fun. Immediately, I asked M to be my maid of honor. It was an obvious choice. We've been best friends for 15 years, right? Who else would it be? Well, originally, it should have been my cousin, but we lost her tragically in 2023. Oh. So yeah, M, it was. When the planning first kicked off, she offered to be the planner because it's an industry that she wanted to be in. I wanted to be supportive, and I was like, hell yes, you're gonna be helping anyways. Until she asked for $3,000 for a job she had never done before and had no experience in. I was of course going to pay her something, but not $3,000 freaking dollars. The closest thing to the wedding industry she did work in was a sales associate at David's Bridal. Also, not the first time she's tried to make money off me, but I digress. events. That was a hard no, but I told her gently, and I just said my mom had a friend who's an event planner and my mom wanted to go with her. We move on. Other weird things that happened. We got a point form list, baby. Ooh, I can't wait. I love when people sum it up for us. She was visibly disappointed that I didn't pick the dress she wanted me to wear. She called me a bridezilla over my color scheme, said that I was too specific. It was a fall wedding, fall colors, terracotta, reds, emerald green, etc. She tried to guilt me into wearing her pearls for my something borrowed. At my first fitting, she barely let me say anything to my seamstress because she was talking about her time as a dress designer at David's Bridal. Anytime I tried talking about my wedding in a group setting, she would make a dig at her boyfriend for them not being engaged yet. Every single time. She ignored my mom for 2 straight weeks when she was asking M for help with the bridal shower and never helped with that either. And then she made me a full 30 minutes late to my bridal shower. And when I brought her to the venue to show her around, we met with my planner and the caterer there to start organizing things. She interrupted them to talk about her sister's wedding 3 times. She didn't plan that one either, so I never really understood that. In the same day at the venue, knowing my planner is my mom's church friend, she would nonstop bring up that we should hire a witch on Etsy to ensure good weather, making my planner visibly uncomfortable. Okay. There's also the weekend that I had a severe panic attack and I had to leave my job early. The time before this, when I had a panic attack and I kept it to myself, she was mad I didn't call her so that she could be there for me. So then I have this really bad one and she ignored me for 3 days to the point that I was worried about her. So now we come to the final blow, my bachelorette trip. M was a stay-at-home mom, no income at all. No shade, that's just the truth. Her child is 10. I talked to my other girls about how it's important to me that she comes because she doesn't get to go anywhere. With this, some of the girls throw down extra money to cover her share. That is so nice. So nice, right? She thanks no one at all. I'm gonna be taking my money back. I didn't find that out until after the trip. So we went to Salem. The witch is getting hitched was the theme. Oh, that's so cute. I went to Salem and I went to some of those witch museums. It was really fun. A 3.5-hour drive from where most of us live. There are 6 girls total. 3 of us arrive Thursday, the other 3 come on Friday. M and another bridesmaid come together. I'll call her T. Upon arrival, M is already pissed at T because she took forever to get on the road and a few other comments. I'm like, it's cool, don't stress, I'll keep you guys separate for a few hours, it'll all be okay. We ended up missing the boat tour that was booked, so I'm upset, but I brushed it off and I was like, whatever, let's just go shopping and pop around town. T wanted to go to Target, so I asked another bridesmaid to go with her so that M could just chill out. We keep it pushing. We go to dinner and we have a good time there. Then we get ready to go to the bar. We have an immaculate time at the bar, leave way earlier than I intended. So now it's like 1 a.m. We are all drunk, but not belligerent. I wanted to play a game before bed. One of the girls sets it up. Em and myself go upstairs to take off our makeup. While we're upstairs, I tell Em something I'm going to do for the ceremony that we just decided that week. The Celtic knot hand fastening. She had visible tears in her eyes. I'm like, oh my God, are you okay? What's wrong? I don't know what that is. After a back and forth about this, she finally tells me, and I kid you not, if you do that for your ceremony, then I can't do it at mine. People accuse me of copying you all the time, so if you do it first, it looks like that all over again. The universe knows not to put me in these situations, okay? It just really does. It wouldn't be pleasant. This is news to me. I'm shocked and I look at her like, what? What are you talking about? Who is even saying this to you? And why would that even matter? Does not every bride wear a veil? Around this time, the friend setting up the game, A, comes upstairs to tell us that it's ready. But now I have a crying M and I'm spiraling, so I'm like, screw that game. I need you both to come outside right now. We go and the other girls go to sleep. I tell M to tell A everything she just said to me upstairs. As she does, she also adds that I also stole her first dance song, picked a dress that looks something like she designed, shouldn't do a Celtic knot because I'm not even Irish like that. I am Irish. Should give her grace because she's drunk. Haven't been with my fiance that long and doesn't understand why I'm rushing. We've been together for 4 years, shorter than 11 years, but 4 years no less. Says that I'm gaining up on her with A and that I stole her dream wedding. Okay, well, I hate to be the one to tell you, but this isn't your best friend. This is your enemy. Some people will be in your life and they will be actually secretly hoping for your downfall, and they'll mask it by being your best friend. Just so you know. Now, during this entire argument, I'm sobbing, crying my eyes out. I feel terrible. I had no idea she felt this way at all. I apologized profusely, mentioned nothing to me. She was being weird for months. But this, I never imagined this. Thinking back when I told her what song we picked, she was like, "Aw, that would have been my first dance song. That's awesome." Very supportive. So I'm confused and dumbfounded. A told her to F off when she made the comment about the dress design, but then very quickly calms herself down and tries to level with M. She tries to tell her that she understands her feelings, but she's directly taking them out on me. M says no, that's not what she's doing. I offer to change everything. Honey, you need to come talk to me after. We need to install a backbone a little bit here. I said the dress and girls' dresses are the only things I can't change because they're already bought and we're 4 weeks out from the wedding. To this she says, "No, you can't. It's too late." And then would go on to say that I gave her anxiety. I forced her to tell me all of this right now. She left her child for this. She didn't want to tell me this because of how stressed I was, but now that I've forced her to, and it hurt her that I was being blind to her feelings. How the F was I supposed to know all of this was going on in her head? I still never got a clear answer on who tells her that she copies me. We are in our 30s. I can't read minds. This goes on until 5 a.m. 1 to 5 a.m. This goes in circles with no resolution or an apology from her. We leave it at, "We'll finish this talk when we get back home." It's awkward the next 2 days, but manageable. I keep my distance and I just try to have a good time because you know, it is my freaking bachelorette trip. More nonsense happens, but this post is long enough. Sunday comes. M and T leave at 10 a.m., except they don't. I look at M's location at 12:30 and she is 20 minutes away from where I stood on Essex Street. Lying, cute, but whatever. Important note that any time in our 15 years of friendship when we had a problem, I pushed us to talk it out. I was not doing that this time. I've really had enough. I get home Saturday night. All I hear from M is that she dropped my cooler off to my fiance. Monday, I drove past M and her boyfriend in the town we live in. Still hear nothing. Tuesday comes. Nothing. By this point, I have talked to my family, some other friends, and now my husband. 2 things above everything I learned stand out to me from those conversations. My mom told me that she's felt M has been taking advantage of me for years, and another bridesmaid who did not go on this trip but does know M, she tells me that she's been worried about this exact thing happening on my wedding day. I'm dumbfounded. I ask why. She tells me she saw this coming from a mile away and tells me a few of her reasons, and I am blown away. By Wednesday, I still hear nothing, but also I'm at the point where I don't even know if I can be this person's friend, let alone have her in my wedding. On Monday, I wrote a long, detailed message and I just sat on it. By Thursday morning, I'm like, why would I explain myself to someone who clearly hates me? So, short and simply, I said something along the lines of, I haven't heard from you. I'm assuming you don't want to be a part of the wedding anymore, and I think it's best you don't come. I don't care to have a conversation about this as I feel enough time to have one has passed. Wish you well. Love you forever. Bye. I hear nothing back. Then, a whole week later, my grandpa passes away. No! Oh, what a rough time. We were extremely close, and that sucked more than I can put into words. I miss him so much every day. She sent me condolences, and I said thank you. A week after that, I post a carousel of selfies just trying to feel good about myself. I caption it saying, sometimes it is about you, and that's okay. 1 hour later, I am blocked on everything. The wedding goes off beautifully, the actual best day of my life. A few things went wrong, but they were pretty funny more than anything. Had another friend step up to take her place. I don't make anyone the new maid of honor, but instead I pin my cousin's ashes to my bouquet so that she is next to me. It was beautiful, but now I'm left with a bunch of her stuff at my house. Fast forward to this past Saturday. I package up all her stuff in a cute Christmas bag. I wrote a card that simply said, I didn't feel right keeping this stuff. Hope you're having a good holiday season. My husband brings it to their house, runs into the boyfriend. My husband told me it was awkward, but fine. Husband tells boyfriend that he's just dropping off some of M's stuff that we had. Her boyfriend tells him to throw it out. He does in their own garbage can. Now they're snubbing me on TikTok, insinuating that I was a bad friend. I only know that because someone else still followed her boyfriend. All in all, I know I did the right thing. I tried my best. I would have done anything to make it better that night, but it's clear that it was never about me. And that is such a theme, right? The narcissist always calls other people the narcissist. I'm the villain for stealing her wedding when homegirl is not even engaged. It's sad because of our history, but it has been a peaceful few months without her. You know, I've been seeing it a lot lately. People, when they're giving advice and on podcasts that I listen to, sometimes they say that you hold on to friendships longer than you should just because you've had so many years with that person in your life. That cannot be the only reason that you hold on to someone. A friend you met 3 years ago could be a better friend than one you've had for 15 years. So anyways, let me know your thoughts and feelings on all this wedding drama. I hope your wedding wasn't filled with drama, but if it was, let's talk about it, you know? Stay classy out there, stay sassy. I'll see you tomorrow.